speaks volumes of your attachment to the goals and aspirations of the Ghanaian people and state, for which we are very grateful. The Right Honorable Alban Sumana King, nearly 3 decades of devoted service to Parliament by you has culminated in this moment, which has seen your elevation to the 3rd great office of state of our nation. Together, you and I will be chartering new territory in the governance and will of the people to work in all sincerity and cooperation with the Speaker of Parliament from another in ensuring good governance in the ordering of the affairs of state. I want to assure you of my wholehearted determination, elected and new members of Parliament. A few moments ago, steps of 2 of my predecessors, the first and second presidents of the Fourth Republic. I cannot, therefore, renewed my mandate in office for 4 more years. I've reposed in me, not only in appreciation for the firmly onto the path of progress, and I assure all Ghanaians, in the context of Ghana's maturing democracy, the Ghanaian people have manifested human rights, the rule of law, and the principles of democratic accountability. A governance structure built on the separation of powers provides the best vehicle for the protection of these values, with a well-resourced judiciary and parliament, and will continue to be so in the next. The unity and stability of our country are the welcome outcomes of such a development. This is how we can ensure, in the words of one of the great figures of Ghanaian nationalism, unquote, is to be, and I quote, the democratic, free, able to count on the contribution of all citizens and deprivation, even in the face of one of the fastest growing economies in the world in 2020. Ghana remains one of the most attractive destinations on the continent, undergoing structural transformation. Second term. The financial considerations no longer determine the fate of the Ghanaian child. Because of the implementation of the free senior high school policy, once willing and able, senior high school education is the minimum education to be received by every Ghanaian child, following the revival of the National Health Insurance Scheme. Our aim is to reach universal health coverage. The newly constructed warehouses dotted across the country are storing the surpluses for export to our neighbors, and the program for planting for food and jobs has become the veritable rock on which the successful future of our agriculture is being built. Our roads are being constructed at a much faster pace than before. Second year of roads. As we continue with our focus on dealing with the deficit in our road infrastructure, the development of our rail sector is the goal of regional and continental integration. The arrival of COVID-19 drove home the lesson to all of us that we have to be self-reliant. The pandemic has emphasized the fact that we cannot continue in all aspects of our lives. Indeed, build a Ghana beyond aid. If we make full use, as we must, of the enterprise and ingenuity of our people, especially our young people. The prominent role being played by young people in the digitization journey of our nation. In this same vein, I expect the locally produced Eku juice, one of the results of government's One District, One Factory flagship policy, to replace rapidly the imported fruit juices on the shelves of our supermarkets. not because anyone will so decree, but because that anyone would ordinarily meant to go. But I can say that the made in Ghana and beautifully packaged Apio I have recently seen can compete in the most sophisticated markets in the world, and soon. We have good reason to be proud of what we have been able to achieve so far. Mr. Speaker, we know that the democracy we seek to build and entrench in Ghana will ultimately succeed if we build a prosperous nation and our people are at peace with themselves and with the world. I pledge before this august House and the good people of Ghana that I will do all I do will be for the common good. And with a firm foundation laid in my first term of office, we shall take a significant step towards reducing the infrastructure deficit that has placed us all throughout our nationhood. The remaining 15% of our communities without electricity will be covered by the end of my second term. We have already water is set to reduce significantly, and we shall tackle the problem with vigor. With discipline and caution, just as we have done since March 2020, we in Ghana, region, continent, and the entire world, we have taken the bold step of reopening all our schools again, because our fundamental conviction that education is the key to our future. We will do everything possible to ensure not only the safety of the children, but of teachers and non-teaching staff as well. We Ghanaians have always been very much aware of our place in our neighborhood, in our continent, and in the world. We recognize that poverty and insecurity plague our region, and thus we shall continue. We shall play our full part in the deliberations and activities and others. The AFCFTA provides us old exploitation, and I quote, "It is clear that we must fight for good in the world," unquote. Tomorrow we will achieve. For I believe in Ghana and make her great and strong. Your Excellencies, once again, Akwaba, I thank you for your...
Mr. President, on behalf of the House and on my own behalf, I sincerely thank you for your inaugural address. I also wish you and the Vice President well in the administration of the country. Honorable members, having listened to his